I was just learning some Cockney hand language in the back.
Take it by the scenes, it's what we're doing. Come and check it out, it's what we're all about. 561 Music!
Welcome to 561 Music. My name is Ben.
And I'm Hector.
Welcome to 561 Music. My name's Ben.
And I'm still Hector.
And how are you still, Hector?
Good.
That threw you a little bit, didn't it?
It did.
Welcome to 561 Music. My name's still Ben.
And I'm Hector for the third time. Take 3.
Yeah, so you will know that if you're watching this because
Yes.
I'm going to cut them together in some kind of amusing fashion.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, what you been up to, man? We've started to record our new tune, haven't we?
We did start recording our new tune on Monday, and then
Yeah.
I guess James is going to come around and lay down some more tracks this week, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, we're pumping
Yeah.
through that. It's and I'm very excited. It's called No Regrets, and it's a song about tattoos. A little bit tongue in cheek, a little bit cheeky.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's cool. I don't know.
It's a banger, man. Every time we play it out, people seem to dig it. So
Yeah, and it was Hector's brainchild. You know, we did a fair amount of work on it.
I
after
get
that,
one good idea per millennium.
Well, I don't know how true that is. You've been doing great with that stuff, but yeah, it's cool. It's got this kind of like gypsy punk kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Reminds me a little bit of Everyman.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, I don't know. I like it. It has a very. I mean, all the parts are very unique in it, but it has a very like driving like bass line in it. You know, which I enjoy. It's not just a like your typical 1/5 bluegrass thing. So
Totally, yeah. There's some stuff going on, and both me and James are doing the most absurdly epic solos in it.
Yes.
It was we got to the solo section, and we were trying to figure out who was going to do one and how long they were going to be. And for the first time ever, we just both were like, we're both going to do a really long one. So
it's all good.
Fun. Yeah, totally. I think they're going to be good, though. James has been working on his for ages and it sounds sick.
Yeah. Sounds really good.
Yeah, and actually, even though we spent a long time waiting to record the thing, the good side of that is that we all know it now.
Oh yeah. I went in there on Monday and I had a few takes and a couple of little flubs here or there, but it was pretty much just a couple of takes and that was it. Yeah,
totally. And we're going to record a video where we may or may not get tattoos. Take 4. How's it going, Hector?
It's going fantastic.
We were talking about whether or not you're going to get a Killbillies tattoo.
Yes, and I was saying that originally I was saying absolutely not. And I'm still not going to say yes, but I am on the fence now.
Okay.
So,
that's
yeah,
good.
Kelly's been nudging me and saying that, I could get it on my butt cheek and then nobody will see it. I'm trying to explain to her that everyone's going to see it on my butt cheek because she doesn't know I take my pants off at every gig. So, it happens.
The trick I heard is if you're thinking about getting a tattoo that you're not sure if you want to get it or not, get it huge.
I don't think that's a thing.
Over the whole back.
Oh, like a back piece?
Yeah.
Or a chest piece? Yeah. I don't think that's a thing.
I'm going to get the Killbillies head on like a muscly man.
Oh, my God.
Anyway.
It's not going to look satanic or anything, right? A goat on a man's body? A goat head?
All right. Anyways. Yeah, we played at the Square Grouper and Paddy Mac's, didn't we?
Yeah, and both of them were really fun this weekend. They had good crowds at both of them.
Yeah, we've got there's just some energy in the band at the moment, and you know what though, that's true. But by the same token, the thing that gives the band energy is people showing up.
Yeah,
and so when everyone's into it and there's a bunch of people there, you just have energy and you're into it. It's like a self-fulfilling process. It's like it either spirals up or down. If there's no one there, you can't play well. If there's lots of people there, you do play well.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, we have Worn Out Trend with us today. How's it going, guys?
All right.
Going good.
Going good.
Excellent. It's really nice to see you. Kelly, we've known each other for a very long time, haven't we?
Yeah. It's probably been like 10 years now.
Yeah. Used to go to shows at Prop all the time and stuff.
At Bradley's. Monday nights at Bradley's.
Yeah. And I don't know if you still do it, but you were a hella ska DJ. You used to kill it.
Not anymore. Downsizing.
Yeah, fair enough. I always thought that was super cool. I always thought you were dead cool. It's something that I've always wanted to do is get like a awesome collection of ska 45s and stuff. Did you get rid of all of them?
I sold most of them to Felipe, who was in the Big Scandal.
Okay.
So he spins them with his girlfriend up in New York. So they still get
Nice.
spun. They went to a good home.
That's
they went
cool.
to, partners that were DJs. So
Yeah, well, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys, Worn Out Trend, first off, how long have you guys been a thing?
Yeah.
So it's a long ass question.
Okay.
But let's go
I
with-
would say at this point that Ignacio is talking, and we also have Randy with us. It's Kelly, Ignacio, and Randy. Okay, carry on.
So yeah, let's go with the official. With the 4-piece that we debuted, we started rehearsing like a year ago, mid-July or June.
Yeah, we released our first single as Worn Out Trend last July, Vacation. So that was kind of like
Yeah,
when, Worn Out Trend really
That's
took
like
off.
the Kickstarter 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
And we debuted in Tampa in November.
Okay, wicked. Where in Tampa?
So we played the Brass Mug with Abortion Twins, our good friends, Abortion Twins at Bargain Hero. So every year, Danny puts on the punk ska pizza party, which will be September 21st this year. We're on it again.
Nice.
Bargain Bin, Abortion Twins, Lot Lizards.
I could have a word with him, man. See if I can get one of my punk bands on it.
Yeah, dude, it's a fun time. So we debuted there last year. And it's funny because Danny was like, "Is your band ready to play?" And I was like, "No. Like, we're not ready." So he asked me like in, I don't know, June when he books it. And so I said no, and that was it. And then like a month before, he was like, "I still saved you a spot. Like you guys should play." So
That's cool.
So we played. And then
you gotta break the seal somehow,
Yeah, we played, and then our drummer quit after the show.
Yeah. The next rehearsal, he was quitting.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. There's always some kind of crazy situation you got to get over in a band like that.
Yeah.
Like us, our trumpet player just upped and left. I'm kidding. No, I feel it. To just get the ball rolling, sometimes someone's got to force it on you,
Yeah, and it was, and then we found Randy at the end of December. We started practicing with him in January. And then our first, official show with Randy was February 29th.
Okay.
And then we played, 18 shows between, February 29th and July.
Wow, nice.
So
you're really just kicking it in the ass and getting going.
Yeah, we play regularly from Miami all the way to Orlando.
Nice one.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And it's really cool, in the time that I've known you, I've seen you at shows so many times and spinning, but it's so badass you got this kick-ass band, going. It makes me happy to see you doing that. Plus, I like the music. It's great. Yeah, I love it, in fact. And when we played together up in Stewart, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
East
Butch
Ocean.
and you guys, yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun show. It was a fun show. We love playing East Ocean. We just played there last Friday.
Nice.
And then we're going to play there next month on the 15th with Guttermouth.
Oh,
September.
wicked.
So,
Nice.
Yeah, we've got one.
Oh, September. So it's August already. It'll be August tomorrow when this airs.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
You have a point.
Yeah, we got one coming up there too. East Ocean is cool. It's nice that there's a spot in Stewart that does that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because it's quite tricky to, I don't know, some days you feel like the live scene is getting smaller and smaller, but then, you look somewhere like East Ocean Pub, it's just opened up that whole area again. There's bands coming again. It's cool.
That's through Dead Dreams?
Yeah.
Booking? Yeah, Dead Dreams booking. Michael's great. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
He's doing a great job.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. It makes me happy. I was talking to, who was I talking to? I've forgotten the name of the band. What an idiot. Public Serpents. I was talking to a guy from Public Serpents about because they're going to come and play Propaganda in October. And I was like, oh, maybe we can get them play the East Ocean Pub as well. So that's I've got to give Michael a call about that.
Yeah, or let me know. Let's book something, all of us. I can reach out to Michael. Yeah.
Yeah, they seem. I only know them from afar. I've listened to their music and Squirt Gun's super active on Facebook and stuff. So I know them from that. But they cool band. Have you listened to them before?
I feel like I've seen them before, but I think it's been a hot minute. But the amount of shows I go to, I'm just like,
yeah. Are you still doing that? Are you still going to shows all the time?
Not as much now that we're gigging so much. It kind of sucks. Everything. Even we booked something the other day that it ended up falling through, but I was like, oh shit, I wanted to go to a ska show that night. Damn, I was kind of upset, and I was like, oh well, playing comes first. I do love playing, so.
Now you live further south. Where are the places that you go to when you're watching shows?
I live up in Port St. Lucie.
Oh,
Actually.
you do still?
Yeah. So I live in Port St. Lucie, but these guys live farther south. So
Gotcha.
so that's why on the Worn Out Trend Instagram, it looks like we're a lot of places.
Okay, I get it now.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
I go to the Stamp a lot in Vero, and I go to East Ocean Pub, and
okay, yeah, because you've been up that way for a while now, haven't you? I remember when we used to play in Stewart. You come and see us play.
yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. For some reason, I thought that you'd moved down there as well.
No, I just drive 88 miles to band practice once a week.
Till this day, I can't believe it that she does that.
That's
for
insane.
every practice.
It's dedication, man.
I mean, I get 13 miles to a gallon in my F-250. It's not that bad.
Yeah, I drive 30 minutes for practice, and I'm tired about doing that.
Well, I'll tell you what, the punk rock game, it's meant to be where all the money is anyway. So.
Oh, yeah. Make sure every day.
Second only to the metal game in no money, I would say.
What about ska? Is there money in ska?
No, because there's so many people.
There's so many people.
Ska might
Yeah, you
win.
guys
No,
split.
there's money. It's monopoly money.
Yeah.
With bananas on it.
As a matter
We-
of fact,
we had-
somebody's got to pay.
We had some people talking about, like, do you, like, add in horns to our music? And I'm like, I just remember being in a ska band. I'm like, oh, now we're going to have, like, 9 people. Nobody's
Yeah.
free on the same day. I don't know if we can start adding people.
Well, what we did with algorithms is we now play to a track. but because we've started playing to tracks, I think that we're going to phase the horns out slowly. Now we're getting more into like weird synth stuff and like, because if you're playing tracks and you hear like a dub laser or something, that doesn't seem like that weird. It seems fine, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, horns on the tracks is a little bit more like, but anyway, we're doing it. And we played a gig and Hector, you said it sounded
Yeah, it
pretty good.
sounded great, man. Sounded
Okay.
great. Yeah, sound was good, and you guys were right on time and everything. So yeah, it was
Oh,
good. It was good.
Have you ever played to tracks before?
No, we've talked about it because we've been without a guitar player for a couple weeks.
Gotcha.
And we think we're going to finally extend an offer to somebody this week. But
Well, I
yeah.
put some guitar in the tracks, and not much, just in the background, very far in the background, but it just makes my sound bigger. You know?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because it's just you and live, right? So doing guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it feels completely, because when you're doing arrangement, sometimes you need that
Yeah.
rhythm guitar that is filling, and it's
Yeah.
not there. We felt the same sometimes while playing live.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. I mean, I would say go for it. These days, a lot of bands do. You know, it used to be this kind of rare thing. It's not at all anymore. You know, people are doing it all over the shop. Well, the technology's got easier and stuff. You know, I mean, it's still roughly the same way you used to do it back in the day, but more people are able to make their own tracks and stuff like that.
We just, like, we're so lucky with Randy. Randy actually plays to a click. So,
Oh, there you go.
So it's,
You're
I don't know,
basically
like,
already
it's-
there.
Yeah, and so it would be something we do, but like we like following Randy. I like following Randy. Randy's like a
Okay.
machine
I
with
don't
the
follow
click.
Randy. I don't know.
Randy, who?
Who's Randy?
Well, that's cool. If you play to a click, doing tracks is just like,
You're like 90% there, man.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah, it's-
99% there.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Most of the time, I just play alone in the band in there. In the live shows, I barely hear them, so I'm just like, just follow me, man. Just follow me.
Randy and a click.
That's cool. You know what, though? That's a good way of doing it. Ryan, the drummer in Algorithms, is like a metronome as well. You know, it's just great to be able to play with. And in Killbillies, the drums are a very strange situation. Let's not talk about that.
The drummer in Killbilly is terrible. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you could say that, couldn't you?
A combination human of mine and James's leg with no torso. That's the drummer. Wow. That's the drummer in Killbilly. You know what, though? It's a useful thing. The one time playing those kind of drums is good. Well, one of the reasons why it can be good is that you're literally playing the exact time as the drums. And so even though the speed might change, like in terms of the whole band, the band is tight as hell. You know,
Yeah.
you're
Right.
playing. So that's
Right.
the cool thing about it.
Except me. you guys are perfectly in time with the drums. I'm always like,
Well, you're forging us a path so that we don't speed up or slow down too much. I think.
I do reel you guys in sometimes, especially James. James seems to, like, sometimes he gets a little crazy with that kick.
A little
man.
slap happy.
Yeah, a little slap happy with the kick. Reel him back in a little bit.
So basically, you
slow
set the
down.
tempo, is what you're saying. So they
Basically.
think they do, but you set the
I mean,
tempo.
you know, you're right. They do think they do, but they don't.
You're the free spirit.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like that drunk driver that stays in the same lane, though. Swerving all over the place.
He sets the tempo, right? You just follow,
Yeah,
you follow him
just
down
keep
the
going,
lane.
you know?
You're like, I'm not drunk. I'm just following that guy.
So what's your recording, what's the word? What's your recording, like, history been? What have you done with that? Like, how many tunes do you have out and how have you been recording them?
So recording wise, we are lucky that Randy can record drums at home. He has a
Yeah,
room
cool.
at home that he can record, and he has 8 tracks, I think,
Yeah.
or 7 tracks. You said me.
You
And
get
I-
all 7, that's great. That's like properly, that's a big big, you know, that's everything you need right there. 7 tracks.
I actually got an 8-track, but I use 7 out of them. So
Yeah.
it's pretty good.
I'm pushing for the 8th track, but she's not eating it.
While we're talking about recording drums, can you elaborate a little bit more on it? Because I record drums all the time. I'm always interested in people's techniques. Like, what are you miking up?
I just put on, I just got a basic Shure mics. They're nothing fancy or expensive. I just try to make sure that the sound's actually not too overpowering.
Yeah.
And even if they are, that's what I got him for. He tries to help me out on that
That's
aspect.
cool.
So.
And which ones are you? So you're miking up the kick, the snare, and are you miking all 3? You got 3 toms.
I got, I just got the kick, snare, high tom, floor tom, and 2 overheads. That's
Okay,
it.
gotcha.
So,
Yeah, cool. Are you doing 2 on the kick and 2 on the snare?
just single
Okay.
ones.
I'm trying to figure out how it's 7. So kick, snare, 2 toms. Yeah, okay. Did you look
Hi-hat.
hi-hat?
Ah, yes, the hi-hats.
That was
I forgot
it.
that guy.
Yeah, yeah.
And 2 room mics, yeah.
Yeah,
If
okay.
you ask me, between hi-hat and right. The hi-hat will always be there. Right, the bell is very hard to get.
Do you know Steve Albini said to our friend Rocky, Rocky Rocker went to record something with him one time, and he was
Rocky
like, "Are you
died.
going to mic there?" I know, crazy. And R.I.P. Steve Albini, terrible. But he said to him, like, because Rocky asked why he didn't mic up the hat, and he just had these. He had a couple of rhythm mics, kind of like low down, but kind of further back from the cymbals. And he said, he goes, when do you ever listen to a band and think, oh, I could really use more hat? And that's, I mean, it's a fair point. Not that I don't like hi-hat work, but you can hear it, or, you know, in the thing anyway. You know, so.
No, amen to Steve Albini. on that. I've been recording for, 10 years now. I hate cymbals in general. I know they're important, right?
Well, it's
So
hard,
I do
they're hard
care
to get
for
them
them.
smooth and nice in there.
But yeah, it's hard. It
Yeah.
depends a lot on the room that you're recording also.
Yeah.
The room mics, the distance between the player itself, like the tom and the cymbals.
Yeah.
Because most players for comfort, they play like this and the tom's like this.
Yeah.
But you should really play with the cymbals high so you get that space, that natural space.
Yeah,
But
totally.
it's twitched around at the end.
You know what I noticed about recording and engineering with cymbals is I always start off with an EQ that's like super bright, and by the end I've always cut it right down. You know, like just to get the kind of warmth of them. You know, I think like a nice sort of like silky warm type of a hi-hat or cymbals ends up being what I go for, because I think to myself I want it real cracking high frequency, but then in the track it just, you know, it does sounds obnoxious.
Piercing.
Yeah.
So I agree with you, but it depends so much on how it were recorded in the space. 'Cause it's like Randy, for example, he has a house room. So it's, let's call it a small space. So the return of the cymbals is very harsh.
Yeah, okay.
So my approach is do as little as possible and just clean them down, compress a little bit. But I noticed that when I over compress them, it brings out things that are just tearing down the mix or
Yeah.
the drum sound. So it's
Yeah.
just being very careful and just, it sounds stupid, but use your ears. Just like be very careful and clean a lot. I noticed that how we record digitally a lot nowadays, like around the 11th K,
Yeah.
that there's a there that always kills me. I kill
okay,
that
yeah,
every
just
time,
like
and
a
I do it like in every chain that I put the hi-hats. I keep doing it, and it helps a
Interesting.
lot to clean that, so you can get the
You just
high
notch it at
richness.
11K up there?
Basically,
Yeah.
Very narrow though.
Yeah.
It's there. You have to find it, but it's always there.
That's really interesting.
When it's digital, it's always there.
Yeah, next time I record a tune, when I get home, I'm gonna go and listen to some drums I recorded and see if I can hear what you're talking about. That's cool. So, how do you record the guitars?
So until now, everyone had like a spot at the house. So for example, the old guitar player, he recorded, sent the clean takes, and I reamped them digitally.
Oh, you do? Okay. Yeah. What do you use for that?
I was using THU for the most of the time. That it
Okay.
comes with the Slate bundle.
Okay.
It's kind of like a Kemper.
Yeah.
It's very similar.
I've got the Slate headphones. I don't have the Slate.
Oh, VCX.
Yeah.
I play on that shit.
Yeah. I love
Best thing ever.
I agree.
You really hit. Like I work at the office when I'm in my lunchtime. I'm like mixing time. Boom.
Yeah. No, what I do with those is after I've got it almost all the way there, I just go through the rooms and I just take out the stuff that sounds bad in each room, you know, and slowly whittle it down until it sounds good in most.
What's your main room?
It's my main room. Well, there's that. You know, I don't think any of them are. I use them all. I go quite regularly between them.
You tapped the nerd on me, so I use Archon all the time and just double check. Like in the mic dean room, I check the bass.
Yeah, you think Archon's like a pretty reliable one?
It's the one that I like, where I feel more comfortable. At the end, it's that, you know?
Yeah.
Like, play your favorite songs, the ones you know, like, every detail, and find a room where you say, hey, this is where it sounds good to me.
I quite like the mastering one, too.
Yeah, I double-check on the Howie one, but I do not master on it. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It has something, like a hissy thing that I'm, like, used to.
Yeah.
It's... All this stupid thing is very nerd. It's just being.
I love hearing you talk about it. This is a music podcast.
I'm all about the live show. Like I give 0 fucks about recording, except for then they're like, "What did you like the mastering?" And I'm like, "No, the vocals sound like shit. We gotta re-record them." So I am really picky about the vocals. So.
Says that lady who uses a condenser microphone.
I do. I do, and I only use a Sennheiser. I only use Sennheisers. I don't like Sures.
So is that just so you can get a nice crisp highs out of it?
Yeah, I feel like
presence.
I feel like because like I have kind of like a nasally voice too, and
you think warms it up?
and it's a little bit lower of voice for female. Like so it sounds a lot warmer.
Interesting.
And I feel like the Shores, like I don't know, there's like almost like a tinniness to my voice in the Shores, and then, I mean, you can balance that if you have a sound guy who knows your sound, but then, like, you're playing all these bars with, you know, so it's hard because also, as a female vocalist, I get places and everybody wants to be like, put me in, like, the wettest room possible. They're like, let me just give you all this reverb and all that. I'm like...
I'm in a cave kind of thing.
Yeah, so I'd rather do as much as I can with the mic to be like, can you give me, like, as little as possible in there? I like... live recording or like live versus recording. So live's my thing. Like I want to hear the room.
Yeah,
I want us to sound good in the room. So I like my Sennheiser mic. I don't know.
No, I get it. That's cool.
And they're both important.
We argue all the time.
I think we have like a set of like SE ones that James got that he really likes. They're kind of like 58 equivalents, but made by SE. They work really good. I don't know how this podcast today is so specific and nerdy. I'm loving it.
Well, I mean, we're pop punk, and isn't pop punk and ska just a bunch of nerds? So
Yeah,
like, we're just a bunch of nerds here.
It's a fair point.
We're just a bunch of nerds here.
No, you're absolutely right. So what do you? Okay, so you get the guitars on like that, and then presumably Kelly comes over and records vocals over there.
Yeah, most of the recordings she's done at my place. I think just one is going to be from your house.
We tried to do one at my house, but like, so I lived in an RV before I kind of moved into a house, and then I moved in a condo now.
Yeah.
But I don't own anything, so I'm recording in an open format condo with nothing in it.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I have like a couch.
Yeah, you'd have to like get in the closet or something.
Exactly.
Like
So if I record at my house again, I'm definitely gonna like go in my closet and try to record. So
for one song, we did 3 different microphones.
Yeah, I didn't like any.
And we ended up choosing, let's call it studio-wise, the worst.
Yeah.
I have an AKG C414.
Okay.
And like that's my favorite. That's what the main one. It's like it doesn't sound good because it's grabbing all the room.
Yeah.
And you have too much room.
You can hear my refrigerator in the background.
I really like using these.
I just got this. I still haven't been able to use it.
Yeah.
I love those though.
Yeah, I record with vocals with these a lot because it doesn't have that crispy thing that a lot of those condensers.
It's very warm.
Yeah.
And like
it depends on the person.
present.
Yeah.
In your face. That's the way that I was looking for.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I really like him. I got one years ago because my friend Virgil, R.I.P. Virgil, said he was just talking about them. He said he liked them. We ended up going to get one, and we ended up using it as the mic on almost everything we recorded. It's so good.
Yeah, it's a good microphone.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, let's get out of Nerd Town here. Let's talk about what are you writing? What your song's about?
What are we writing our songs about?
You're writing the lyrics.
Yeah. So I mean, if you look at our current songs, it's about a breakup I went through last year and about all my mental health struggles. It's a lot of.
So it sounds like the kind of things I write about.
It's very personal.
Yeah.
And I feel like those are the best songs. When we were at Bar Nancy in Miami, we had a lot of people come up to us and were like, I can like feel your songs, and like they resonated with me. And
I felt the same. When you played, I was in it. I was focused. I loved it.
So that's what we're trying to do. We have a couple songs that like I kind of like when somebody writes the song and then like names it something silly, and then I write based off of whatever title you kind of gave it. So like I kind of like, I don't know. I write a lot of different ways.
Yeah, that's cool.
So I don't know.
I know, because you'll have the ones that, most of us have the ones where it's like something about like someone who hurt us in some way and you needed to like therapize and get it out. And then, most of us have like a couple of mental health type ones too. I've got a lot of those. Most of my songs are about that. And then every now and again, I'll like take a stab at like sort of, some like something vaguely political, but like personal politics, not like massive grand themes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you got any of those that go that route every now and again?
Not really. We don't have any of those kind of yet.
Yeah.
We were kind of talking about like what we want to do, because that's a thing you almost have to agree on as a band as well.
That's very true.
If you're going to go like political, and we do not all agree politically.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that like.
Which by the way, I think is fine, and a lot of people. I think a lot of people just assume that like every band is like some kind of like faction of a political wing, and I don't think it has to be that.
Yeah, and we've had a couple newer songs that they're not written yet, but like I've kind of written out about like so my real job is my degree's in economics, and I write about the stock market. So a lot of like about consumerism, about like this machine we're stuck in, like, and so I'm more comfortable writing kind of about that stuff, and how we should like unplug from the matrix of advertising and that kind of stuff. So we expect that kind of stuff coming from us.
So we are in the
near
matrix,
future.
Yes,
So we're definitely going to have more. That's kind of how I think as political as we'll probably get.
And honestly, that's the kind of thing I write about too.
Yeah.
And occasionally I'll write about the environment. That's about it.
I mean, I could write about the economy because I know a lot about it.
That'd be really interesting, actually.
I mean, if you make it work, go ahead.
Yeah, totally.
If you don't make it boring.
Song about like the Dow Jones or something.
I might have.
Dow Jones.
Right. Dow Jones will be like a guy you broke up with or something, right?
So our first song is Vacation, and I might have half of a spoof song written about inflation because it kind of fits in there.
Yeah,
so
there you go.
Maybe one day that'll see the light of day.
We're in a fucking inflation. Whoa.
Who's gonna stop inflation?
Who's gonna stop inflation?
And it's not. And like spoiler alert, it's not gonna be the Fed. That's not how that works.
So, you're writing these songs, you're recording them. How often do you guys practice?
Weekly. Weekly. We practice down at Marquee in Pompano.
Oh, okay.
So.
2 hours once a week.
Cool place.
Yeah, nice.
We've been doubling up, right? Because we've been auditioning guitar players and getting them up to speed and figuring out like who we want to work with going forward. And if we're writing, we'll do extra practices.
Are any of you guys playing in other bands, or is this the main thing for you guys?
This is it for me right now.
Yeah.
My schedule is a little difficult, so.
Yeah, I was just curious because
Because you're in 14 bands.
Because I'm in loads of bands.
And he wants to start more. He's trying to get us to start more bands.
Right.
No, but actually, it's it's. I think it's great that you got this this focused thing, and playing in a band is just. It's the thing that I care about above all else, and it's your best friends and your art and your work all tied into one bundle. When you're feeling good about it and everything's going well, it's just the best fun in the world. I love it.
Yeah, and we've gone through a couple iterations of this band. All of Worn Out Trent has been Iggy and myself, and
Gotcha.
and then we switched drummers and we were just switching guitar players. But I feel super confident in the team right now. Because like you said, it's got to be your best friends, or it starts to get tedious.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If you can't just shoot the shit and have a good time, it gets weird.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you guys are the same. if like the band chat ever got leaked, people would like think
Oh
you were
my
insane,
God.
right? Like if they
We would be,
Right?
we would be
legally
canceled.
put down.
We would
right,
be canceled.
Why are you talking about leaking the chat? No.
No, but that's what, like, you want that band chat to be like so unhinged because
Yeah,
you're like
exactly.
It
that's
is.
who you guys are together, right?
is.
So it's
Yeah. You
And
need
when we
to-
go on tours, we're all three cooped up in the van or whatever, and like
It's
for
your digital
days on
bat
end.
cave.
Oh my
I
god, the
accidentally
conversations
something
are
that was-
so terrible.
I accidentally sent something that was meant for the band chat to the lady who does our social media, Danielle, and she was like, "Whoa!" I was like, "Oh my God, sorry, it's wrong."
It's like your digital bat cave.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's
yeah.
good
I mean, these
times.
guys are like my brothers, so it's great to like feel like that. In a
Yeah,
band.
hell yeah.
So
I guess it means none of us can ever run for president because someone would find this stuff and
yeah,
would be imprisoned.
For sure.
I don't know. We've got like 40 years on all of us until anybody would take us seriously for
That's a
president,
fair
right?
point. Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
so-
Yeah.
People take you seriously?
Presidents have to be like 70 years old.
It goes like AARP card, president.
Yeah. yeah.
Anyway, why don't we listen to one of your songs? What song are you guys going to play us on the old video that you had?
It is. This song is called AA Took My Baby Away.
All right, wicked. That sounds great. Let's give it a listen.
Don't wanna show you what's on my mind, 'cause if I did, you might understand where I'm coming We're having a party and you're not invited. We all got together and we all decided your bullshit's no longer welcome here. What do you mean I'm not invited? The things that you do, the things that you say, all of your nonsense, the games that you play. Every time you have yourself a beer. Well, I hope we made it clear.
Come on, let me in! Hey, let me the fuck in! Come on, guys!
Have you ever thought about getting yourself some help or something?
No!
We're having a party and you're not invited. We all got together and we all decided your bullshit's no longer welcome here. No longer welcome here.
Oasis Root Kava Bar is in Sea Grape Square on Indiantown Road, and it is a kava bar. If you don't know anything about kava, it's a Polynesian root that you grind up and you mix with water, and it has been in Polynesia for potentially thousands of years. It's an old thing that they used for kind of ceremonial and also sort of leisure purposes. It's meant to be something where, that brings people together. You all take a shell of kava and chink them together and say bula and have it together like that. It's meant to be something to bring people together. It has a kind of an effect, which is, I guess, a kind of a slightly warming effect. It just kind of makes you feel nice. It's not particularly intoxicating. It's not like drinking alcohol. So the atmosphere in a kava bar is sort of like a cross between a regular bar and a coffee house. It's pretty chill in there. You get all sorts of different types of kava bars. Some of them are more like a club, there's sort of like blacklight and EDM playing, and some of them are more like a cafe. This is one of the cafe type of ones. It's super chill in there. If you're looking for somewhere to, I don't know, maybe go and do some work on your laptop or go and have a chat with friends, it's perfect for that kind of thing. There's a foosball table in there if that's your jam, or baby foot as they call it in France. Yeah, Jim, the owner, is a really cool guy, and he has very kindly sponsored our podcast. So thank you very much for that, Jim. They also do a poker night in there, all sorts of things going on at Oasis Root. 561 Music is sponsored by Live Music Community. It's where we film the podcast that you're listening to right now, and it's also where I work. Gavin, Hector's son, was a student here for a long time, and in many ways he's the musician he is today because of the teachers at Live Music Community. We taught him not only about his instrument, but also about being in a band, and his band, Unemployed Youth, accomplished a lot of goals, mostly band etiquette, how to work together, and all of the nitty-gritty that goes into being in a band on a day-to-day basis. The student signs up for lessons, learns their instrument, joins a real band, and decides the direction it goes in. And we can take people from very young age, 6 or 7 years old, all the way up to 80. There's no age limit here. We run an adult program for people who want to be in a band as adults, but really the main focus is on the kids and getting them playing together and in bands. We are also a studio, a live stream venue, we can record audio or video. The Killbillies live album, Warts and All, was recorded here. It was recorded during a live stream that we did during COVID. Justin had a great idea to record live streams during COVID. A ton of bands came in, and it was a real success. Outside of that, we can record albums, we can help you with your EPK, and we have full audio-visual capabilities here. LMC is in Palm Beach Gardens on the northwest corner of Military Trail and North Lake Boulevard. And if you go to livemusiccommunity.com, you have all the information you'll need right there. We were just listening to an ad from Live Music Community, and hang on, let's do it. We were just listening to an ad for Live Music Community, and I wondered if you guys have any advice for upcoming musicians.
Ooh. I mean, don't let the assholes tell you that you shouldn't be doing music.
Don't let the bastards grind you down.
Yeah, and somebody asked me about this like Monday or I don't even know what day of the week it is, but somebody asked me this week. They were like asked me about like my experience with music, and I was like, man, like in school, I always botched auditions, and like for the longest time, I was convinced that like I shouldn't be doing music, and
Right, yeah.
you know, and like
I feel like they did that
Yeah.
to my wife Christy. They just kind of beat the joy out of it for her, you know. Just made her think she wasn't good at it. It's not true.
yeah. So it's like don't let that happen. Like even if it happens, like keep doing it for yourself, and
Yeah.
like as long as you're doing music for yourself,
Yeah.
like you know, as much as great as it is that like feeling to be on stage with these guys, like for a long time I didn't do music for myself because I let them get in my head. So
Yeah.
that's my advice. Like even if you're not playing out, like do it for yourself.
Yeah.
Do it for the love of it.
100%. Yeah. What about you, Iggy?
Well, in my perspective, gotta start. I have this word creation here, or create.
Yeah.
So I think that's the main drive. Like not only music, whatever you need to create, do it. That's an amazing experience just to do something out of nothing, and that's my drive in general in life. And in music, it's just do it, enjoy it, and like you said, do it for yourself first and foremost.
Yeah.
The fans, if they exist, cool. If you like your music and the people that you do the music with love it, that's all you need.
Yeah.
And the community, it's normally it always happens, and it's amazing because it's a lot of people that want the same as you, and not necessarily are money driven,
Yeah.
but just passion driven.
Yeah, you automatically have something in common, which is that you're out there writing songs and, you know, trying to do it. And then if you narrow it even further down that it's kind of similar music, the likelihood is you're going to get on with these people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But you will have to grind. You will have to work your ass off in the stage, in the recordings, in every single part. And nowadays, social media too.
Yeah.
Most of us dislike it.
Yeah.
You
But
do your own social
You have to
media?
do it.
Yeah, I do it. I run my business accounts, and then I run 3 for the band, so I run like 7 accounts.
Oh, cool.
It's
That's
a
a lot.
lot. But if you can like, I have a scheduler, so I found like if you have a good
Yeah.
scheduler
Which
and you
one
can
do you
like,
use?
I like Vista Social.
Vista Social. Okay.
So, but if you can like sit down and like schedule it, it makes it a lot more manageable. But it's also hard. Like we have so many shows, so then you're like, oh, how do I promote the shows on social media without like, you know, missing a
Messing
show?
up the
And then
schedule, yeah.
like you can't. You want to give all the shows, but then the week of, you really want to give the show that's this week. Like
Right.
that. What about the show next week?
Yeah.
And so it's a lot of brain power that when I just want to be writing lyrics.
But that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
You need to do
Yeah.
that stuff. It's
Yeah.
necessary. Same as learn your instrument, play with it, and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like if you enjoy playing at your home, why wouldn't you enjoy it at a show
Yeah, exactly.
or even a rehearsal?
Once you get over the nerves, you know, I still haven't really completely got over the nerves, but actually, and the nerves are part of the fun of it all, you know.
Yeah, if you don't get a little bit of it, why are you doing this?
Yeah, exactly. What about you, Randy? You got any advice?
Just don't give up. If you dream it, just do it. Because, I mean,
Tenacity.
it's just the way it is. I mean, if you give up on it, somebody else is going to take over your dreams. You know,
Yeah.
you only get to live once. Just
Yeah.
take advantage of it. Live to the
Absolutely.
fullest extent. You know, it can be frustrating, but if it's not frustrating, then you're not growing.
Yeah.
So,
No, my mum often says to me, you know, Ben, you know, live your life. It's not a rehearsal. Just live, you know. And she's right, because sometimes you can kind of like sit back into it a little bit and avoid doing the things you should be doing. But you really shouldn't, because this is the only time you're ever going to be, you know, doing. Today is today, and then it's gone. You know, you're going to live. And so, yeah, I don't know. I appreciate that, man. I mean, I know I'm not saying anything super. What's the word? Inspirational that no one's ever said before, but it's true. You've got to live your life. You know.
Yeah.
For a reason, it's a cliche. There's a reason for it.
Yeah.
It's just true. The only way to live is living your life.
So we just listened to a song. Could you tell me what it's about?
The music video we have out now is called the first song called AA Took My Baby Away.
Hilarious.
And it's a short song. It's only like 30, 40 seconds. And Iggy actually wrote the songs, the song part. And then I don't even know how it happened.
So it's a very short, fun song. I created it. The title came after having everything done.
Yeah.
Basically, we're talking about someone that has issue with alcohol,
Sure.
and not in a like shun you because you're alcoholic. It's because you're being destructive as an alcoholic to the environment. That's how I read it.
It was kind of like you were saying, like you pick a person who kind of like done you wrong and like write a song about it, kind of like a thing.
Yeah.
We went to our very first show. We had a friend of the band, and we not our friend, but he came and he just wanted to pick fights because he couldn't handle his alcohol. So it was sort of in that vein, like I mean I haven't drank in 10.5 years, and so like. I was this person probably 10.5 years ago.
I've been there, yeah.
But it's just like we're too old for that shit now. So like, so it's just like we're having a party, you're not invited because we don't want the bullshit. And then just like in the middle, it's like have you ever thought about getting yourself some help? And the guy doesn't want any help. So,
it's just the cheeky way that it's delivered and the way the song is just fantastic.
Yeah.
And the funny part is at the end when I like kind of go up into the falsetto, I did it as a joke. At we played this song in our very first show with Randy at the patio at Respectable Street, and so I didn't really know how the song was going to end, so I went into it and it was like, that's how it ends.
Yeah.
Just like going, like, up
You showed
into
me
the
that, and it's
falsetto.
like we got it.
Yeah. No, it's great. It's catchy and it's legit. It's like proper punk rock, and just the way you did the video is a lot of fun too. I just think it's going to be. I don't know. I think there's like lots of awesome, bright things in your future. And talking about you guys' future, what's next for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, we're still rocking shows. So we took a hiatus for the last 3 weeks to try and like get our guitar player situation taken care of, and so I stopped booking. But when I say I stopped booking, I stopped looking for shows. But the thing is, I go out to a lot of shows and I show up and people are like, "Oh, hey, you want this date?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure."
Yeah, the more you go out and do stuff, the more that works out.
Absolutely.
So we're still like in the short like just looking in the very short term, we're at Tough Times this weekend, and next weekend we're at Uncle Lou's in Orlando, and the following weekend we're playing Stamp Fest at Vero Beach. In September we're on the Guttermouth show in Stewart, then we're at Lucky's down in Fort Lauderdale, and then we're in Tampa. So like we're out and about.
Yeah, you are.
But our goal.
I didn't realize you were that busy. That's fantastic.
Oh yeah, we play
Coral.
a lot. We're in Cape Coral in October at 239 Fest with Bargain
I played
Bin.
that a couple of times. It's a lot of fun.
So, and then we got some other October shows already booked as well. So we're keeping busy. By the end of the year, we'd like to play a show outside of the state.
Yeah.
So that's probably Georgia, just because of where we live, right?
Sure, sure.
So probably Georgia. And we'd like to get into Gainesville, Jacksonville, and maybe like North Florida. We haven't played there yet. We're still pretty solid, like Miami to Orlando, and then we're looking in early 2025 to lay an album and do a tour, like a proper tour with that album. So
It
that's
doesn't
kind of the goal.
surprise me that you're doing well, not because the music is good, but outside of that, just as a person, you're a force to be reckoned with, and I just find that the pretty organized and focused, and a lot of people, and you're good at organizing things and stuff, so it's working out.
It's an inside booking agent.
Yeah.
That's what we have.
Yeah, I'll give her that. She is pretty good
I'm
at
actually
that.
going to talk to you after this about that, because there's some things that like you could probably help me with in terms of booking algorithms, and you're doing super well with getting gigs.
Yeah, and it is a lot from the people I know, like the people I DJ'd with for years, and I also I show up and to gigs. That's another thing. Like I get a lot of our gigs like. I show up and I rag on the bookers, because I rag on everybody, right? So just I was up at the Stamp a couple weeks ago, and I went to see Foi, hardcore band, and I missed them because the band dropped off, and so they played before I got there, and I told Joe, the guy who books up there, I was like, why didn't you get Worn Out Trend would have played. We would have taken the slot, right? And he was like, I thought you didn't have a guitar player. I was like, whoa. Like, we
That's an us issue, not your issue.
Yeah, so I was ragging on him, and then, like, he mixes the band, like, because he runs sound up there, and then he was like, do you want these 2 dates? Like, go to here again? We're like, yeah, I do. I do, actually.
Yeah.
So it's just like, we've played with a lot of bands that, like, leave after they play, and it's like, that's not how you're going to get shows. Because we're not going to book you on something again.
Yeah, other than beyond everything else, it is rude.
Yeah.
It's super rude to do that.
But it's
if you're one of those bands who leaves after you play, you are rude.
Yeah, and we've so yeah, it's just getting out there, and like you said, yeah, I do have a lot of connections. It seems. Apparently, I got some enemies too, though. They're coming out of the woodworks. So.
You think
called jealousy, man.
Some enemies.
I was gonna say
Haters gonna hate.
Yeah. Start being successful, man.
But I mean, overall, I think one of the biggest things that we do is we support local artists too, which is, why, people like Kelly as well, we go to local shows, whether we're playing there or not.
Oh, yeah.
Helps us networking, it helps us helping them out. They support us in return, That's usually how it should be,
Yeah, definitely.
In a perfect world.
And we like a lot of different music. That's the other thing that's cool.
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather be at a ska show than like anywhere else. But
I can't wait for you to find out what you think of algorithms.
Oh, I can't wait. The show's gonna be great this weekend. But like, it's cool that we don't just go to bands that sound like us.
Yeah.
So I think that's another big thing too. Is like, sometimes people want to like talk shit about mixed genre shows, but I think like
that's what makes it fun.
Yeah, that's what makes it fun, and we like.
Yeah, I think there's a you could get it. You could have like a sort of Dixieland jazz band, and then like sort of some kind of Metalopolis kind of just horrendous, super incredibly heavy metal band together, and it wouldn't work. But so most things work together. You can make them work together. Killbillies played with like a sort of ska punk band the other day, and Killbillies and ska punk aren't related at all. We played with Co-Defendants.
Wow!
We played with the singer from Co-Defense and his band, but like
Seschi or
yeah,
he's so good.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He has just something more like hip hop.
Yeah. We did his hip, but then the guys who were touring with them, I can't remember what they were called. Yeah, we was them.
They're ridiculous musicians.
Yeah, and then Killbillies, which is just a really weird mix, but it worked just fine. Doesn't matter.
Well, we were just talking about this last week, though. Like, if you have, like you said, if you can't have like a jazz band and a hardcore metal band, it's just not going to work. Or maybe it will. But
you say something and then you think, hang on.
Hang on. But if you have some mixed genre bands, you got a punk band and a ska band and whatever, it's just you do these things. We were having this conversation last week. If you have a show and you have 5 bands and they're all the same genre and you're all local, you guys all have the same fans. Yep. So you're only going to bring those 25 people that were going to come out to each
Basically
band.
What you were saying earlier,
But if you have 5 bands that are all slightly different genres, they're going to pull some people that you're not going to pull, and you're going to pull some people that they're not going to pull, and vice versa. And now you've got 300 people in the room.
It's a really good point. Yeah, we were talking about that last week as well. And the more I think about that, the more I'm like, oh yeah, that is actually.
The more you want to do a jazz hardcore metal.
Yeah,
but also you make it more. Sorry, you make it more attractive because if it's the same exact type of music, like punk, like I'm a huge punk guy, but it turns out boring, and because sometimes it's very similar one to another.
Yeah. Sometimes hardcore shows where everyone's hardcore are good for some reason. When it's just like one hardcore band, then another hardcore band, then another, and it's just why they're there. That can be good. Sometimes metal shows are like that too. But I think I would rather go to a show with a mixed bill.
Yeah, I think if you mix, it's more about the energy than the genre.
Yeah.
Like, maybe jazz with metal will be weird because it's not the same energy.
Yeah.
But that's how you could do it with the Hillbillies and Seschi, because you all have this like energy, like good vibe that makes you move and want to stay like more or less in the same energy.
Well, that's how we do the festival that we put on every year. We have 20 slots for the festival, and it's all over the place. I mean, I wouldn't say it leans one way or another. I mean, it's everything. It's everything.
It leans towards good.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is. It's all good bands, but it's everything from from reggae to alternative to. I mean, Killbillies played at one time. Some bluegrass stuff. I mean, like it's a little bit of everything, and every year, we've done this for 3 years now. Every year we get emails, we get people coming up to us at the end of the day, things like that are like, wow, I came for this band, but holy shit, this band was amazing, and I discovered this band. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, Kenny is a good example of that, where he discovered, I think, a couple of different bands at the last festival.
Love you,
And,
Kenny.
Yeah, and he's, you know, and he now follows them. You know, so like that's the goal. That's
Yeah.
the goal. Is you want new fans, you want more fans.
Yeah,
Totally.
of course.
May I say as well, I'm so glad you brought me a T-shirt. I'm going to cut the sleeves off this and wear it
That's
tomorrow.
what I thought.
Oh, I have a tank top. If you want the tank top,
Tomorrow.
I can switch it out in the truck. It's
Um,
up to you.
Maybe I'll buy the tank top off you and keep this
Oh.
because I think you're an awesome band. So.
we do have tanks and tees.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, and you got this works too. Look at this. If you want to, everyone go and get themselves a worn-out trend T-shirt. It's awesome. Yeah, so that's really it. What have we got going on? We have
You guys have Square Grouper on Saturday.
We haven't been playing very much.
We have
lately.
DOS.
It's weird.
We have DOS on Friday.
Oh yeah.
And then well, it's because you have the other stuff going on. Like you have algorithms on Saturday.
You doing,
Oh, right.
you doing Square Grouper and then Tough Times?
Yeah.
Dude, you're.
Yeah.
I'm just tired thinking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're playing DOS on Friday, and if you have ever been to see us at DAS, you will know. But if you never have done, it's a great spot to come and see us play because there's loads of room there. You can sit out in the street there, and it just has like a little bit of a mini street festival-y kind of a vibe.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah,
It's
I
fun.
love
It's a good
playing
time, man. It's
Yeah,
a good time.
totally.
And then you and James are doing the duo at Square Grouper on Jupiter.
I've
And
been
then,
playing at the Square Grouper every 2 weeks for about 12 years. I'm glad to be. I love that place. It's really cool.
And then Algorithms.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you want to check out Worn Out Trend, you guys are on the bill as well.
Yep.
And that's at Tough Times
Yeah.
in Pompano.
Yeah.
Okay, Pompano.
Yeah, Saturday night, Tough Times in Pompano. And the bill is...
Suicide Bombers.
Yeah.
Take It at Sea.
That's it.
Algorithms and Worn Out Trend.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
I was going to find it on my phone so I didn't mess it up, but you didn't need to. Just rolled up your tongue.
I love my local bands.
Yeah, hell yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. There's A Decade at Sea were on the podcast very recently, and they are...
They're really
Awesome.
good. Yeah, they're really
I
good.
can't wait
Yeah,
to see
I
them
saw
live.
that one.
Yeah.
Oasis was my first friend here in Miami.
Oh,
Because I came
really?
in here in
Oh,
2021,
that's funny.
and he was the first person that.
So you
befriended
must have
me.
seen them live already then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good, man.
In fact, the first time was in Tough Times.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, wicked. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun, that show. There's every band on the bill is someone I would go and watch anyway.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, you should come. Tough Times. If you've never been to Tough Times, now's your chance. Saturday night, let's do it. All right. Well, yeah, that's about everything. Have you guys got anything you want to add before we get out of here?
Yes, we forgot to mention that we're releasing a new single.
Oh, there
Oh,
you
yeah,
go.
there you
Called
go.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I didn't forget. I just don't like the vocals in that song. No, just kidding.
No, it's not we forget. We get inspired by the conversation. But yeah, we're dropping that. We don't have an exact date yet, but I would say in about 3-4 weeks.
Okay. Nice.
After she redoes the vocals.
No, they won't let me anymore. They made me
That
pick.
won't happen.
They made me pick. They really got to pick one.
We gotta
people
look
were-
to the future. Sorry.
No, you're good. Yeah, that's awesome. And if you're listening to this podcast, you have almost definitely already seen it. But Hector and I released a single yesterday. It's called "Step by Steps" by Nina's Yard Party,
Yep.
and we made an animation for it, and it's really silly. You should check it
Yeah,
out.
if you haven't watched it, Bet did an animation for it, and it's the most ridiculous and awesome thing all at the same time.
Yeah, man. I was trying to get the song and the video on some playlists today, and I was getting a lot of funny feedback from people who'd watched the video, and because there's YouTube playlists, and I think it's going to be in a lot of YouTube playlists. Let me put it that way. Anyway, yeah, nice one. Thanks so much for coming up here, despite the fact that there's no AC.
Oh, no.
There's no way you didn't notice.
It was a blast. Thanks for having us.
No, thank you for having
Yeah,
us.
see you later.